Hello everybody, welcome to DACman Productions and welcome to the Central Operating Lines O-Gauge Layout Club here in Long Island, New York. So I decided to venture out for the summertime since the shows are shut down, and I was invited to check this club out, and so here I am. So let's go and check them out. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Central Operating Lines, and here is Tony. He's going to explain the club to us on DACman Productions. And thank you for inviting me to your club here in New York. So I know there's been people out there reaching out to me to travel further and to consider going to New York. So I have started doing that. Unfortunately, during my busy show seasons, I can't get out of the tri-state area, but since it's summer vacation, I decided to broaden my horizons, and here I am. So tell us about your club here, Tony.
All right, well, first off, thank you for coming. The club was established in 1976. We are actually the oldest O-scale model railroad club on Long Island. We've been in this location for about 12 years now. Like other clubs, we end up having to move for different reasons, but we've been here, we've got a good home here. We've been here about 12 years. We have a lot of talented guys here. Our club is not just men. We have some women members. We have some young members. We're always looking for new members. It's very simple for us. You come down, when we're down here, you take a look around. If you're interested, we give you an application, you fill out the application, and we very rarely turn anybody down. We're always looking for new members. We have about 65 to 70 members.
Wow. And do you have like a website or something they can visit?
If you go to COL Trains, and you can go on there, and on there you'll see photos of the layout, you'll see information about the club, our swap meets, everything about the club and stuff like that. We post different things up there on when we're doing different events. So if you go there, you can see. As far as the layout is concerned, I'm going to take you around on like a little tour, and you're going to see a lot of different buildings. Because we're close to the metropolitan area in New York City, we basically follow or try modeling different things from around the metropolitan area and 5 boroughs, excuse me. The track on the layout we use is Garb's track, and we use raw switches like everybody else. And the buildings and everything are a mixture. I think I mentioned it to you. We have a lot of talented people in here.
Yep.
The buildings are kit bashed. Some of them are scratch built. Some of the guys have laser cutters and 3D printers, and they've printed and laser cut some of the buildings that you're going to see. The wiring and everything is all done by club members. We have some pieces that have been donated. There's a bridge out there that we're going to go by. You'll see that was something that was donated to us. And once again, it's a great group of guys down here. We also try to work with the community. We do a lot of private stuff where people have come to us, groups have come to us and asked if we could do a special open house, and we've done that. What else? And I think basically that's it. You know, the guys are a great group of guys. It's a great place to learn if you want to learn about the building models, scenery, building buildings, doing the wiring. This is the place to come and learn. We're also, I don't know if you noticed it when you walked in, we are a reputable MTH service facility. So we take in repairs for MTH. We also do Lionel repairs, especially the pre-war, post-war, and MPC era. I personally do work those. That's my thing here. So we take in repair work and stuff from people from the outside.
Oh, wow. So is there any requirements?
No. Basically, you come down, you meet the group of guys, we take you around, we show you the layout and everything. We talk to you a little bit to get a feel for you. And you fill out an application, and there's a little bit of a waiting period. Then the members vote on you, and usually that's it, you're in. And once you're in, you get your own key and the combination, and you can come down here anytime you want to run trains. We got guys coming down here at midnight. They work, you know, at night, they get off shift, they come down here, they run trains. We even got a member, he used to work for the MTA, and he lives in Pennsylvania, and he'll come all the way here on the weekend to run trains. Yeah. So that's about it. Our dues right now is like $60 a month. Right. It used to be less, but with everything going up, but
yeah,
it's still.
But for what I see here, that's way more than reasonable for what you guys are doing.
What you see here, like I said, that's like 10 years, 12 years worth of work.
I mean, because we people understand that you got a building to pay rent for, electric. There's a lot of upkeep to all this, including the track. I mean, it's all constant maintenance. So $60 is well within reason as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So no, it's not that bad. And like I said, it is a lot of fun. We do have, like I said, mixed membership. We do have some women that are club members because their kids and stuff, their teenagers have joined, and they decide to sign on, and they come down here and they run trains with their kids and everything. So we're not strictly a male type organization.
Oh, all right, that's great. All right, so let's take a look at the.
Let's take a quick tour.
A quick tour.
We're going to start off with what we call the kids' layout. This layout is basically would have been a dream layout for somebody growing up in the 50s and 60s. It's something that every kid wanted. We call it the kids' layout because when we have our open houses, this is basically where the kids hang out and play. We have all the push buttons to make all the old operating accessories work. Not only do I have the kids hang out here, but I get the grandparents, and they're always talking about, oh, when I was a kid I had this, I remember that. So that's what this is. And this layout, as you can see, it's using the old style tube track. It's actually 4x12. It's 3 4x4 sections bolted together, and I can actually take and I can turn this into an L very easily, or I can make it into a T shape. It's actually a universal design. And at one time, I worked at a hospital. At one time, I actually used to put this up in the children's room in the hospital during the holidays for around Christmas time.
Wow, that's
So now it's here, and as you can see, even the big kids play with it. Like I explained earlier, we're in a metropolitan area in New York City. We model different things that kind of have a historic value in the area. So one of them is the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And as you take a look, you see the backdrop, you see some of the buildings. The backdrop across the Brooklyn Navy Yard building, the COL building, the Williamsburg Bank building, those are all scratch-built buildings. The other buildings are cutout buildings, or American O-gauge. The American O-gauge.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's what a lot of those are. Same way with a lot of the ones in
Ameritown.
Ameritown, that's
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
We have New York Harbor, and of course we put up the World Trade buildings the way they were before they came down on those people. You have a mixture down here at the lower level of the Navy Yard. That's a scratch-built building that was done by one of our members. And then we have some K-line buildings that we modified and put Navy markings and stuff on it.
Okay.
The ship was built by one of our members when he was younger, like a teenager. And now it's sitting here in dry dock. So this bridge that you see here on the elevated line, this was actually built by someone and donated to the club. And as you can see, it's a pretty intense bridge. It's a pretty nice bridge. And we have the subways running across, which is an automated system that go back and forth by themselves. I don't recall the name of the system. You would have to ask Roger. He would tell you. He would be able to tell you. But
all right.
This takes care of the Navy Yard, this part of our layout. All right, so now we're at one of the biggest icons in Manhattan, which is Grand Central Station. And as you can see, it's a highly detailed model. The top half of the station is a resin cast model that Lionel made. But the bottom half of this station was done by two members of the club. This is all kit bashed. I forgot how many hours that they did on it, but I'm pretty sure in the video that you took, you could see the detail that went into it. And if you look at photos, they worked from photos of Grand Central and stuff, and this is what they came up with.
Wow. That's really nice.
We have, in the back, is one thing missing. We have it actually in our club room. I'm working on it with another member. We're actually being remodeled the 1950s, going into like the early 70s. We're actually putting up the Pan Am building. Everybody knows it's the MetLife building. We're doing it as the Pan Am building, and hopefully by our next open house, we're going to have that up in place.
Okay.
You go down below, we also have the subway system, and this is Grand Central Station's subway system. Again, this was all done by a club member. What you see down there, the platforms, the stairways, all that, the tile work was all done by a club member.
Very nice.
So when you walk into our club, into the main room where the trains are, the first thing that hits you is this building. And everybody who's been to New York or knows anything about Manhattan knows that building. That is a Flatiron building. Actually, that's a building that I built, and that is Kit Bash. The bottom half and the top half is one from American Town, and the rest of it is styrene sheets and everything that I formed and bent to make this. The White Castle is also a scratch-built building. The other buildings that you see on them, Menard, and I'm trying to think who the other company is, I can't remember. And because the area that we modeled, we actually have a streetcar running through New York City the way they used to back in the 40s and 50s. So here behind us, we have the Menards New York City Police Department. You see Rockefeller Center, which is one of those Remax things. I actually found that at a flea market. The motor was bad in it. I restored it, and now we have it here in our display. And of course, the Empire State Building. That building was donated to us. That came from like a display in a department store, I believe. And of course, we can't have the Empire State Building without King Kong up on it. All right, so once again, we're around the metropolitan area, one of the biggest things here on the East Coast, especially outside of New York, is Coney Island. So this, as you can see, we have our Cyclone, which is at Coney Island, and we have our own parkland here. The wheels and the Ferris wheels, the carousels, the rides, that's all Lionel stuff.
Oh, this is all Lionel.
That's Lionel. But some of the things like the balloon pop and other things were all 3D printed by one of our members. And this was about 3 guys that spent, I forgot how many months putting this together and building it. And this is what we have. We have our own amusement center right here.
Wow.
Also in the back, you see the COL building and some other buildings that are lit. You see the signs that say SO in both. We have a guy that's an electrical engineer. In the video, if you watch the video, you see the lightning. He's the one that did the lightning and that COL sign that you see there. The SO signs and the Gulf signs are the, I just drew a blank.
I know who you're talking about.
Miller Engineering.
Miller Engineering, yes.
Right. So that's what we have there. And again, a lot of the buildings in the back are store-bought buildings from different companies. Once again, we have this area that's a lake area, and this is all done, again, by a couple of our members. And the buildings that you're looking at were actually done by LaserJet cutters. They cut out the wood, they cut out the windows, and they assembled the buildings, and this is what we have. At one end we have a beach, and I don't know if you noticed it, but if you take a look at the sign, if you're familiar with the movie Jaws, that sign says Amity Beach, like in Jaws.
Oh, okay.
All right, so up on top here, we have a coal mine, and we have an ON30 line that goes up along this top loop. That whole thing that you see up there, the coal mine and the buildings with it, that was all scratch built by another member. The same with down at the other end. The sawmill and the buildings that are down there were all scratch built by another member. And the trestle bridge going across, that was all done by the members. This was not a kit, this was all hand done.
Wow. Right.
Here, we have basically what you would find if you went out east up on the North Fork where all the farmland is on Long Island. And basically the buildings all here are Lionel buildings except for one. The farm or the barn is actually scratch built.
Okay.
So this, I mentioned earlier that we've been here 12 years and we haven't moved from other locations. This was the only piece that we were able to save from the original layout, this gorge area. If you take a look, when you come to visit, you really got to take a look at the detail. I mean, if you take a look over here, you see the climbers climbing up the rock face. But if you take a look, the bear is holding the rope for the one climber coming up. This brings us to the last part of the layout, which is Floyd Bennett Field. Floyd Bennett Field is located in Brooklyn, and at the time it was played a very important part both during World War II and the Korean War. It was really a naval air station for guarding the coast. But they also had a New York Air National Guard unit there, and then they had the Navy and Coast Guard. Right now, as you can see, it's under construction. We have some of the buildings being built. And one of the things that a lot of people don't remember is that from Floyd Bennett Field is where the planes took off to go after King Kong during the film, the 1938 or 39 film.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we try to incorporate, when we do stuff on the layout, we try to incorporate a little bit of history or fun facts that people find interesting. And basically, Sean, that's what we got here. It's a work in progress, like we told you before. We're constantly working on it, constantly doing things, and that's about it.
All right. I'd like to thank you for this interview and showing us on the tour. All right, so we have James here with the club. He does a lot of the custom buildings, laser cut buildings. So you want to talk about one of your buildings here?
Sure. This particular one is what we call the warehouse supply. I made that from scratch using an X-Tool laser cutter. The colors are just what we picked from the Vector Stain.
And what kind of laser cutter are you using?
I'm using an X-Tool, X-Tool M1.
Okay.
It's a hobby craft, smaller one. It's not like the big one, but it's a 20-watt laser. It cuts plastic, wood, it engraves, metal, everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it has a tunnel. You can do all sorts of turning stuff. All the signs and everything are made on that. That's an engraving. The letters are engraved on there.
All right.
All the small details, the barrels and stuff, are made on a 3D printer.
Oh, so you have a 3D printer as well?
Plastic 3D printer, yeah. Also a resin one. The resin one's a lot more detailed than the PLA one they call it.
All right. And what for those wondering, what kind of printers are you using?
Creality. And the other one, my resin one is a, oh boy, I forget. I forget what that one is.
That's all right.
I don't use it that much. I use the Creality one more than the other one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Oh, Anycube.
Anycube.
Anycube is the resin, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very nice. And with the laser cutter, are you putting the lines in the wood as well?
Yes, those are all engraved, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all the lines are engraved, the words are engraved, yeah.
And you make your own windows and doors with the laser printer too?
That's correct, yeah.
Wow.
The software that comes with the machine is really easy to use, very user-friendly.
Now, do you have to design the doors and windows on your own?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All those shapes on there, yeah. You can also take a picture of a window and outline it with the software, and then all you have to do is just shrink it to the size you want.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. Spent a lot of time on it.
All right. I'd like to thank you for this short interview and talking to us about these laser cut buildings that are. All right. I'd like to thank everybody for watching another DACman Productions video. If you're within the New Jersey area, you would like to have me visit, shoot some video, just send me an email. I'll leave that in the link, or leave that in the description of this video. And in the meantime, I'll catch you guys trackside or another train show. Catch you later. Goodbye.